It's the only way I can do it. If it's not absurd, I can't put my heart out there like those other people do, man. If it's not absurd, I can't do it.
You wait. We'll get some like heart-rending, emotional stuff out of you eventually.
Take me behind the scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
561 Music Festival
Brought to you by Stenger, Greene and Feiner.
at the Meyer Amphitheater,
May 3rd.
It's a free show.
20 bands,
2 stages,
art vendors,
food vendors,
drinks vendors.
There you go. Go to 561musicfestival.com for details.
20 bands will play West Palm Beach all day. Support your music scene. May the 3rd is free. 561 Music Festival.
Supported by Stenger, Greene and Feiner. Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm finally Hector.
God, I thought you were going to say something else then. No. I was really scared. I was like, really? This is how we're going to start?
No, I just said that because it felt like forever to start today.
It did take quite a long time. We're going through teething problems when it comes to getting everything going here at the new spot because we literally moved into it like last week. So
yeah, and we were like in the in Studio A, if you will.
Yeah.
And now we're in Studio B, and we're still not quite set up. So we're kind of moving things around and hooking things up every time. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
So I was falling asleep. I'm okay now.
We have lights though now.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So it's getting a little bit more.
But that was helping me fall asleep. It was like lulling me to sleep.
Oh, like a terrarium?
Yeah. I felt all warm and tingly.
That's actually quite a funny thought. I can have you as a pet in a terrarium.
There's got to be some weird law, Ben.
So bit of a weird weekend. Nothing too much crazy going on. I went up to Orlando with Butch, and that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
We played Wolfies on Saturday.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Wolfies is great
Wolfies
gig.
Was just weird and fun on Saturday, man.
Yeah,
it was just
totally.
It was just an odd night. Yeah.
Well, I like that. It's nice because we've been playing the same places for so long that it's nice to go somewhere new and have a different crowd.
Well, and like we're playing Saturday, this Saturday, we're playing right around the corner at
a Maxi's.
Maxi's lineup, yeah. And I had a few people ask on Saturday, like, "Oh, where are you guys playing next?" And I said, "Maxi's lineup." They're like, "Well, I'll be there too."
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah, it's been
literally next door, just about.
For the last month, we've been playing in the same shopping plaza.
Yeah. It's fun.
It works though. It's about 5 minutes from my house.
Listen, we packed the house on Saturday. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. Totally. There was a ton of people there, and there was a ton of people there for us. Which was fun. Yeah.
The other thing I feel like we should talk about, something rare and interesting happened to us yesterday, didn't it?
Are you talking about our,
we went on the TV?
Celebrity TV appearance? Yes.
I'm staring at you, but I have like the face of an old woman in there.
Yeah, I came home and everybody in the house was like, "I guess we can't talk to you now that you're famous." I said, "Well, I didn't want you to talk to me anyway, so it's fine."
And we've been getting loads of nice things said about the festival online, and a couple of nasty
and a few not so nice things.
Yeah. My favorite one was Temu Sunfest.
Yeah, somebody called us the Temu Sunfest. I'll take it. You know what? We got the Temu budget for it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll
that was really funny.
But like you said, man, if you got haters, you're doing something right.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to take these things with a sense of humor because honestly, that's how they're meant. You know, it's just people trying to crack jokes. You know?
Yeah. It's fine.
So we have Reverse Oreo with us. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for coming.
Stoked to be here.
Thanks for sitting through the hour of
arduous
technical difficulties.
Setup time.
We have fun conversations.
We have fun here.
Yeah.
Very interesting conversations.
Yeah, if there was anyone we could have had to sit through an hour of getting set up with, I'm glad it was you guys.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It's usually how it goes with
us. So you're playing the festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're really stoked to have you.
Holy crap, we're having a festival?
When is that? And
Reverse Oreo's playing?
What, Reverse Oreo? Who picked these guys?
Who the hell's Reverse Oreo? I've never heard of those guys in my life.
Do they make reverse Oreos? I feel like they do, don't they? Like, can you get ones with like white biscuits and dark in the middle?
Nope.
I
they
gotta
used to do it. I think
Okay.
they used to
Like
do
the
it, but
chocolate,
they don't do
but
it
they
anymore.
weren't Oreos. They were like some off brand.
Oh, okay.
The cream
like
betweens.
the great value ones.
Yeah, they were
Cream
like great
betweens?
value, great
Yeah.
value or something.
Timu Oreos.
Timu Oreos.
No, but this reverse Oreo is different. It's cream, it's cookie, then it's cream.
Nice.
Creme.
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 We're
We're the
the
cremes, and we're the cremes. Yeah.
So how
I'm the
did you?
cookie.
I mean,
I'm
apart
the cookie.
apart from the obvious, how did you come up with the? When did you come up with the name?
I think that's a story for Ron.
Yeah,
to
it's a
tell.
story for Ron to tell. This is
So it was around our end of the year concert. It was Zach's senior year, around 2022, and
We all went to high school together.
I went to high
Ah,
school,
cool.
San Lucius, and
represent.
You guys went to St. Lucius?
Yeah.
we're the mighty
I went
Chiefs.
to Cardinal Newman, man. I'm sorry. Rivals.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could have gone to Atlantic. Oh, sorry.
Could have been Lake Worthless.
I'm so
okay,
far away
okay.
from having been at high school that I can't even remember
I'm
what I
further
did there.
away, but I
Yeah, so-
but I remember it fondly because I didn't actually attend high school. I skipped just about every day, so I have good memories of high school.
you told me about that. It was actually a fascinating thing. But yes, sorry, carry on.
So it was our end of the year concert called Excite, where band and chorus and musical audio were able to join together and have a good little show. So me, Zach's senior year and Ethan's junior year, we all decided to just come together and do a rock band called, and I somehow just set it off the fly, Reverse Oreo, because there's two guys in the front, and then like the black guy is literally just dead center in the back, just playing
Holy
drums.
crap! You're black.
I know, right?
All the people
I'm
listening to
learning
just
so
the
much
audio.
about you guys today.
Yeah, but we it's a great name. It's funny, and
It's great. Eh?
yes. How long have you guys been? I mean, you're a punk band, kind of pop punk band. But how did you all get into punk? Where did that all start? You can go one at a time if you want.
As he said, we were in Santa Lucius. We did that. It was supposed to be a one-off thing, and we did Welcome to Paradise by Green Day.
Nice.
And then the year after I graduated, they were still in school. They did it again with another guitarist.
Shout out
And
to
then-
Logan.
Shout out Logan.
Logan Bjork.
Love you, Logan. He's up in Gainesville now.
But so one of our friends was having a birthday party and asked if we could play. So we learned 2 sets of music just to do it.
Wicked.
And then as well as Jasmine from Maximum Friction.
Yeah.
She was having her party as well, and she was having some bands play. She asked if I had anything, because I used to play with them a little bit.
Yeah.
Just if I had anything. So I was like, sure, why not? I just brought them over, we played, and then Doug filmed it and sent it over to Dave from Matthews.
Nice.
And put us on a show there. So that's kind of how we got our start.
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Big up Doug. Doug is just a hero. He's a senior.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
We would not even be close to where we are right now if it wasn't for Doug.
It wasn't for
Yeah.
him. So
I
we
saw
are,
Doug yesterday. I love that guy.
we
I
are
love
forever grateful for him, forever in debt to him. But yeah, me and Ethan, we were in a metal band before.
Right.
And it just wasn't getting started. We had a full band at one point, but then people left. We needed a singer. We
Yeah.
needed another guitarist, and it's like, but this was doing something. This was getting gigs. So we were like, let's do this. We're having a lot more fun with this anyway.
Yeah.
So we just kind of ditched that band and just kind of got to here full time, and
Yeah.
now it's a real band.
Yeah, now it's a real band.
From one song in high school to
That's so great. Are you guys like punk rock fans? Do you listen to a lot of punk rock?
listen to a lot of punk rock, a lot of music in general. You know,
Sure.
I listen to a lot of things.
Yeah.
As I said, we played metal, so I'm a big metalhead as well.
Cool.
I'm still listening to a lot of new things, getting into a lot of new music. So
I feel like when you're a punk band, if you've got a bit of a metal background, it generally makes the punk band a bit more interesting.
yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at Sum 41. They just
For
they
sure.
blend it super well, and that's kind of where we were trying to head toward.
Yeah, absolutely. All killer, no filler.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I love that album.
Yeah, man. So it's Sum 41 are great. The I was weird with the way I got into punk, because when I was young, up till around 19 or 20, I listened to like EDM. It wasn't called that then. It was just called dance music and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just that all I mean, I listened to a little bit of other things, but I didn't really get into funk until I was like 20, 21. And which is because most people sort of get into it when they're like 15, you know what I mean? I did know it was there and I'd heard it all, but I didn't get that kind of feeling of like, I love this until I was a bit older. Don't know why. Because I joined a band, like a ska punk band, and then they kind of opened my eyes to all the good stuff and why punk's cool and all about punk rock ethics and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. So, what have you got any favorite bands?
My favorite band of all time is Green Day.
Well, there you go. I mean, of course.
But aside from that, my second favorite is Slipknot. So as I said, I go all over the place.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Green Day played at Coachella, didn't they?
Yeah, they just played it. We're gonna go see them in a month from today, actually, at Rockville.
Oh, really?
So really, really excited for them. But yeah, Green Day, Slipknot, and then the Beatles is the band that got me into music in general.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
shout out to my
of
dad
course.
for playing Yellow Submarine when I was like 2.
Yeah. One of the
out to
most
Gary.
irritating things in the world is people thinking that they're edgy by saying the Beatles aren't good. Because of
Oh,
course,
yes, they're
the Beatles are
amazing.
good. Yeah.
Of course.
I was like that for a long time, and then he started playing some around in the car, and I was like, you know what, it's not that bad. I do enjoy quite a bit.
Yeah.
I will say though that obviously the Beatles are good. You can't make the argument that they're not good, but I don't care who you are, what you listen to, but you can't honestly tell me that the Beatles had like this amazing stage presence though.
Well, it was weird, wasn't it? I feel like they didn't need to.
Of course,
They just
they
needed to
No,
stand
they
there.
100%. But they just did not have stage presence.
Oh, they didn't.
Oh,
No,
no,
they're just like
definitely not.
bouncing up and down.
They were from I feel like their live approach, especially in the early days, was like pre-Rolling Stones. Because Rolling Stones was the first time when you had like a sneering frontman.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And it's like, that hadn't even really been a thing up until then.
Yeah.
Like the way
Yeah.
bands were, like the Beatles were kind of like how old rock and roll bands and how like R&B bands and stuff presented themselves, wearing a suit, kind of smiling, you know what I mean? And then it's like rock and roll just sort of like that thing where you're not just desperately trying to please the audience and you're snarling at them a little bit. That came later,
That
Yeah.
thing you do. It's that movie, That Thing You Do, and it's literally like that's the story is
Really?
that they like is it's a band. It's not the Beatles, but it's another band. But it's the same thing. Like they go on like what's quasi the Ed Sullivan Show or something. Something similar of the time where, and they go on there and like none of their instruments are plugged in or anything. They just have to like stand there and like, mimic and everything. And like one of the guys gets pissed off about it and he's like, this is stupid, we're just standing there bouncing around. But that's what it was, man.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was.
Totally. What are they called? Lou Reed's band, Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
I think they were pretty important in sort of developing that kind of like a band as being like almost like an art project, like making you feel kind of uncomfortable,
Yeah.
And prior to that, everyone's just
Yeah, I love Velvet Underground. They're so good.
yeah, totally. All right, yeah. So, what are some of you guys' music? Where did we meet, Zach? Is it?
We met at School of Rock
I thought.
way back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was 99.9% sure of that, but I didn't know if we'd met outside of there before then.
Now they've played an event for like outside of like Mommy Algorithm and all that stuff. They played an event for us one time. You guys played the toy drive over.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
at
I
Northwood.
remember that.
Yeah, that's where I first saw them playing. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was School of Rock. I was at School of Rock for a long time. I was there for 10 years. But, since moved on to Pastures New, I got a lot of fun memories from that place,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
it was definitely a great place. I definitely met some people there. Definitely got my start there. I didn't know anything going in, came out knowing as much as I did, and now I'm just keep growing.
I think that places like there and here where we are in 561 Music, just so nice to, if I had been your age and had that in my life.
Yeah, access to this kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
Yes.
like, there was nothing like that when I was a kid. I mean, my school, I was at a boarding school, and they had like a a room you could practice in, but there was no like program. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rock and roll. I had a guitar teacher, but he was the only guy in the whole school who even taught rock and roll. Everything else was classical, and if you wanted a band, you just had to kind of make it happen. You had to try and persuade your mates to learn how to play the instruments.
But not even just the programs, just access to state of the art gear, state of the art studios like this. That like you get, like when I was these guys' age, and if I wanted to record something, I was either recording it on a boombox, or I had to spend like what seemed a small price of a house to go to a recording studio and record. It was like a big deal.
Yeah, recording studios back in the day,
they weren't cheap.
They weren't cheap, and it was just such a
process.
It was like the most important thing you'd ever done in your life. You just felt like
it was a process.
Yeah, I was so nervous.
And you guys now, we were talking before the podcast. You guys are all three of you are teaching now, or
Two of us are, and he's next up.
Okay, and where are you guys teaching at?
We're at Music for Life,
right? And so so you guys so it's the same thing. You guys have access to to gear and recording, and all that kind of stuff. So when you guys record, are you recording at Music for Life, or are you recording in your?
We record
studio?
here.
Yeah, we record here.
Yeah, we recorded at LMC, and when it was over there.
I can't wait until we got these two rooms going at the same time, because when you track, do you track at the same time, or do you?
No, we track separately.
So the cool thing about this place is going to be, you could track the bass and the drums at the same time. You could put the drummer in here and the bass player in there or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to. I always think punk sounds good when it's tracked at the same time, because you get that ineffable kind of hard to explain, like groove.
Breathes a little bit.
It breathes. It breathes a little bit, and it's just somehow the instruments fit together in a way that is better. But most of the time when I'm tracking things, I track them separately as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if a band is really, really good and really tight, I love to do it like that.
Yeah.
It's what are they called? Suicide Bombers.
Oh, we love them.
Yeah. All three songs I've recorded with them, I tracked simultaneously, apart from the vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because they just breathe. They're so good. They played together for so long that they slow down, speed up together, and it's sick.
Yeah.
So my advice to you is, at some stage, try and do a really well produced, not just like all in the same room, bad recording. Try and do a really, really well recorded simultaneous recording, because I bet it would sound sick.
Yeah,
I think so too. Yeah,
we'd love to try that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Have you ever done any recording at home?
I did a little bit, like over like COVID. I was at St. Lucius. There was a music production program that I did, and so I bought Logic, and I did a little bit, and I started to, but I completely like fell out of it.
Yeah.
So I want to get back into it.
Yeah, it's it's like a rabbit hole that I spent the best part of my 20s just on the computer.
It's
doing
funny
nothing
though,
else.
man, because all these programs and everything are so much more accessible now.
Yeah.
But there's so many bells and whistles to them.
Yeah. It's so much to learn. It's endless.
It's not that they're hard. There's just a lot to it. And I remember when I did finally start recording at home and stuff, it was like not that big of a deal. And now, like, I was telling you the other day, I've got 4, 5, 6 songs that I want to lay down some sort of demo for. I have no way of doing it. I have equipment at home and I don't even know how to use it, man.
We got to make that happen for you.
Yeah.
After the festival, you and I are going to do some recording, and it'll double as like teaching you how to do it.
We do a singer-songwriter thing on the first Sunday of every month at Brewhouse Gallery, and the format is four musicians, guitarists, acoustic guitars. They do 2 songs at a time. Each one does 2 songs, and they tell a little story about it. And it's kind of like the old.
Like Nashville,
like Nashville thing,
sit in the round kind of thing.
Like a VH1. Where are they now? Not where are they now? Storytellers.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So they tell a story. Where the song came from. This guy keeps trying to talk me into doing it, and I stuff I have is like very synthy, very old stuff, whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to write new stuff, and then what am I gonna tell people? Like, what's my story gonna be? So I wrote this song 20 minutes ago because Ben asked me to. So I literally wrote a song about nothing, and every line is something just absurd. Like one line talks about a cat with a tie, another one talks about a harmonica that's permanently blue. Like it's just absurd stuff. And so then every song I've written after that for this singer-songwriter thing is literally like taking one of those lines and creating a new song. So I have an entire song about a cat that wears a tie.
I tell you what, that makes me happy that you're trying to do it. You're just going for it because that's the only way.
It's so absurd though that it's the only way I can do it. If it's not absurd, I can't put my heart out there like those other people do, man. If it's not absurd, I can't do it.
You wait. We'll get some like heart-rending emotional stuff out of you eventually. Do any of you guys ever play acoustic, that kind of singer-songwriter type deal?
I really don't.
No, not too often. Sometimes I'll do it for fun, just by myself, but that's really it.
Yeah. It's a whole different thing, isn't it? It's like very vulnerable.
It is, yeah.
So what's the where are you at in terms of releases? What's out there at the moment?
So right now we have 2 singles out. We have Leaving You Behind, which came out December of last year, and then we just released Reignite. It came out in February?
Beginning of March.
Beginning
1st.
of March.
So which is the song that we're going to listen to in a bit?
Leaving You Behind. That was our first release.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you recorded them here?
Yes.
That's cool. Who did you do them with?
Corey.
Corey's a great guy.
Nice.
Yeah, and Corey is also he also recorded our EP.
Right.
It'll be coming out soon when we get those songs back. He's mixing them right now.
Wicked.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be 5 original songs, 1 intro track, and 1 cover.
Nice one. Yeah. That's great. That's enough. That's a good amount. In this day and age, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like albums is almost like a waste of time and money these days.
Yeah, I've been torn on that. I see bands. I see bands release singles, and I see bands release albums. And we chose to do our last one. We just did a single recently, but before that, we chose to do an album. It was like 10 songs, and it had great traction and momentum, social media wise, for about a month. And then after that, it was like you just didn't have any other content.
Yeah.
If you release it individually, if you have 10 songs, you can release it as an album at some point, but if you release them individually, you have 10 different pieces of content.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You
can do videos for it. You can do whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
But that's a good way of doing it, like the 5 or 6, but yeah, from my experience of doing all this, what I would say is spread out the releases as much as you can if you want to get more traction out of it.
For sure.
Like one at a time. But then of course it's up to you, because at the end of the day, all of this is just art, and it's however you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Videos for any of the stuff, or just the tracks?
Just the tracks right now.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe down the line, we'll do a music video or 2, but
Yeah, we talked about it, but we just never really went into it at all.
yeah, we have no ideas for it. So
I'm dying to do.
Let's do a video. I'll help you make a
I'm
video.
dying to do a music video, so the 2 of us should do a music video for
that'd
them.
be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
dying to do one.
All right, we're gonna
I
make
haven't
you
done
a
a music video in like 20 years, man. I'm dying to film one for somebody.
All right.
That'd be fun.
wicked.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
Okay. We're gonna do it. That's gonna be rad.
Yeah.
it will be rad.
Yeah. I haven't done. I've never done it. I've made videos for myself, but I've never made one for someone. I've made a bunch for myself.
I made one for somebody else like 20 years ago, but it was a cover, and it was like a mock kind of video for a project for school, for a college class I was taking. But I've never done it like for real.
You know what would be really cool is waiting for a day. I don't know how you would do this, but having you like waiting for a day where it's like raining, and just have you like all playing in the rain. That'd be a cool video.
That'd be cool.
With someone else's instruments, I hope.
I know. Yeah. We have to get some dummy instruments.
Yeah.
Wait till there's a hurricane and go and record a bit of that.
Get the paper jams.
Yeah, I was just about to say, can I get the little inflatable guitars?
Paper jams.
there
Now
you
we're
go.
talking, man. Damn, I remember those.
I
Those are good.
love videos in the rain. 'cause
Paper
you go
jams were
splash.
something.
Paper jams
Oh,
were
yeah.
sick, dude.
They were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those big giant inflatable things.
No.
Oh.
They're cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
And they got like little, you
flat.
tap them and they have like touch sensors or something,
Yeah.
and you can play them.
I know. Someone had one of those
crazy.
at school when I was a kid, and for a second I
Like
thought it was a
cardboard
real
or
guitar.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of All Star by Smash Mouth on that.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
You guys ever play Guitar Hero and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's actually what got me
Yeah.
into like metal music in general, hard rock music.
Yeah.
That's what like developed my actual music taste, and then I like threw myself into other stuff over the years, and then eventually it comes and goes. It comes into like little waves of this and that, and then this and that, and then this and that.
Right. Yeah.
But isn't it just like so awkward when you go to play Guitar Hero, because it's absolutely nothing like playing a guitar?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
And people
embarrass
are
myself, and it's
you're
like,
oh, you're a musician, you must kill it on this, and I'm like, no, actually, I suck at Guitar Hero.
Actually, it's the complete
I'm actually
opposite.
really
it's the complete opposite. I am terrible at Guitar Hero because I want to do this, and it's just not the same thing.
yeah, and it's like,
It helps you with like the coordination of strumming and
A little
picking,
bit,
but like,
a
but
little
like that's
bit,
it.
yeah. No,
That's it.
a little bit.
Especially drums.
drums is a different.
I was just
drums
going to say,
is
I had Gavin, my son, plays drums, and he we got him on Guitar Hero or Rock Band or one of those, whatever, one time on the drum kit thing. Oh yeah. I'm like, you're going to be awesome at this. And he's like, Dad, you don't understand. I suck at this.
This is different.
He goes, it's totally different because it's not like playing drums at all.
It's like the drum set like display of like Guitar Hero. It looks more like tenors than the actual drum set.
Yeah.
And I was a tenor like for like all 3 years of my time in high school. So
Right. So, Ron, when it comes to sort of musical influences and stuff like that, where does yours lie? What musical journey have you gone through in your life?
Well, before I really discovered rock, it was mostly, I'm still a church boy, so I kind of grew up but the church I grew up, like I still grow up in, like it's a Caribbean type church.
Right, gotcha.
So I kind of know like reggae, calypso,
Yeah.
and then other gospels, and then where I say some of my drumming like influences like Aaron Spears, Tony Taylor, Tony Royster Jr.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then when I came in the band with Zach and Ethan, I listened to more Trey Cool, John Kiffmeyer, Travis Barker.
Oh yeah.
And then I started, like expanding my horizon with Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad Smith, and then my mom, who's a huge like Police fan. So I really learned like a lot about Stuart Copeland as well.
Ooh, he's an underrated sick drummer.
He's a monster.
He does not get the props he deserves.
Definitely
he is
not.
Unbelievable.
He's insane.
So for me, like I would say like I mostly play like, I feel like they agree. I mostly play by feel more than technicality. So
100%.
So like I'm sensing like Nirvana, Dave Grohl, Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then Taylor Hawkins, because like the power, like
big, powerful. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, cause like it's more. I would say it's more for me. Like it's more passion than technicality.
Yeah, cool. I
There's
mean,
definitely
that
some
works.
Rage Against the Machine as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rage
100%.
as well.
Yeah.
What's he called again? Can you remember what the Rage Against the Machines?
Brad Wilk. Right?
That's it.
Yeah. Brad's cool.
Tell you what, like with rock, I think with punk especially, that's what's most important. That you're tight and in time and you're hitting hard. You know? And and with a punk band, you can't if you don't have a drummer that's playing well and hard in a punk band, you may as well not bother. It's the drums are the most important person.
If your drummer sucks, then your band's great. that's how punk is,
Yeah, totally.
But in all seriousness, I mean, we would not be able to do this if it weren't for Ron. Ron is a monster.
Stop it.
Oh, stop.
You wouldn't have the cookie, and you couldn't be Reverse Oreo.
Yeah, we'd just be a bunch of white guys.
It would be all cream.
I would also say like I have a tendency, like I sometimes play a bit too hard.
A little bit.
There are like some times where like during like practice where like I break more sticks.
Yeah.
Or like nearly like on a day-to-day basis.
You gotta pay for those,
I like how you said sometimes I play a little too hard, and both these guys got this look on this face like sometimes. I think it's a little more than sometimes.
Just a little bit.
I don't think it's too hard when you're playing drums in a punk
That's
band,
what I'm
so-
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
There is
Ron
no
keeps
such
it
thing.
hard.
You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
You should
You
get
are
some of those
correct.
metal sticks. Actually, no, then you'd break the drums.
Yeah, no.
Bring extra sticks for the 561 festival.
I would.
Ron's stick bag has like 30 in there.
That's great.
Insane, yeah.
So, I think talking of all of this explosive drumming, it's time we listen to some of you guys' music. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Oasis Root Carver Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indian Town Road. And it is a carver bar. If you don't know anything about carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water. And it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You all take a shell of carver and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a carver bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of carver bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like black light and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there. All sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. Welcome to 561 Music. We have some very exciting news. You may have noticed that the podcast is being hosted from a different place. That place is the 561 Music School and Studio. Justin Hucker has changed the name of his school from Live Music Community to 561 Music School and Studio. We have joined forces and now everything has the same name. The podcast, the festival and the school are now all under the umbrella of 561 Music. If you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, you will know that every week in this spot, we used to do an ad for Live Music Community. Now, Live Music Community has become 561 Music. We are still on North Lake Boulevard, but we have moved to 524 North Lake Boulevard, Suite A, North Palm Beach, Florida. It is east from the old location, and boy oh boy is it an upgrade. We now have a studio that is far bigger and more advanced. Bigger lesson rooms and 3 big spaces for recording bands and practicing. We now offer more opportunities for recording your band and provide more practice space to hone your skills. The heart of 561 Music School and Studio is still tuition. We train both young people and adults one-on-one and also in groups to be real bands, teaching you how to play your instrument not only by yourself but with others as well. We help you learn to write and record a song, how to brand and market your band, how to design and produce merchandise, how to get shows, how to act at shows, how to perform, how to organize tours, how to reach out to labels, the ins and outs of protecting your intellectual property, and much more. 561 Music is a one-stop shop for all your music and performance-related needs. We are also set up to help you record music videos, how to manage social media, how to create content for social media, and everything that is required of a person trying to break into the music industry in 2025. Come by the studio at 524 North Lake Boulevard in North Palm Beach and check out the new digs. We are online at 561musicstudio.com. Fill out the form online and come for your free first trial lesson. We are open daily by appointment or just walk up and say hi. We're here most days of the week from 3 p.m. for walk-in inquiries. Come by. It's just so awesome, this new spot, and we're all incredibly excited to be here. We were just listening to an ad for 561 Music, which is where we are currently sitting right now. And the question I have for you fellas, seeing as you were all teachers, and it's a perfect opportunity to ask some teachers is, what advice would you give upcoming musicians just as they're going out into the world? It doesn't have to be young ones, just anyone who's starting out. And let's start on the end with Zach.
I would say just do it. If you want to learn it, just start learning. If you want to put music out there, do it, record it and put it out there. Just do it. That's the biggest advice that I have.
Like Nike said, just
do it.
yeah. I feel that. What about you, Ron?
I will probably say, I would say to not be afraid to just try new things.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you can strike lightning in a bottle, or or even like gold in a gold mine.
Yeah. No, I feel that. It's I was talking about that the other day, reference to Hector picking up the baritone sax. You know, it's like he said, "Oh, I used to play sax and da da da," and then we were talking about it, and it just sort of, you know, we were like, "Oh, you should get one." He's like, "Yeah, I should get one." He did, and all of a sudden he's playing in our band on Barry sax. He didn't see that one coming. I'm like, "Oh,
Nah.
yeah."
Nah. Well, you always say, like, you know, the only difference between a musician and a non-musician is the musician's just doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's just a fact.
Yeah, totally. To get on and do it. And it's sort of the same way with art, you know, and it's something that I need to sort of take my own advice on, because it's something I want to get better at. I've got to just do it more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Totally. And what about you, Ethan? Any advice?
My biggest piece of advice for just anybody: don't be afraid of failure. Being afraid of failure is going to hold you back, because if you're going to play something wrong, then how am I going to help you? You know?
Yeah.
But that doesn't just apply to like learning an instrument or practicing or whatever. Don't be afraid to throw yourself out there when you're writing music as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because you'll never know what sticks and what doesn't until you like really push it forward and start using it more when you're writing.
Yeah, just use the muscle. Exactly, yeah. No, that's absolutely true. Because how are you going to know what's good and what's bad if you don't do anything?
Yeah. And I mean, it might not be great to you, but to someone else, it might mean a lot, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Every now and again, someone will come up to me and say something about the lyrics I've written, and I cannot tell you how much that means to me. It's just like, all of a sudden you realize why you do it. You know, you're like, oh my God, you actually listened to all of them and it meant something. You know, it's very touching.
Yeah.
I feel like my just a wonderful way to communicate with another person, because you take something that means a lot to you, you've worked on hard, then they inwardly digest it, and then they tell you what they think of it. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful form of communication.
I mean, that's why I'm doing music in general. I want to make something that can mean something to someone else. I want to be an entertainer, but I also want to make people feel the way I feel about music.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. And that's an honorable goal, my friend.
I used to say that I did music because, you know, I wanted to touch people, but they didn't take that the right way. So I had to stop saying that.
Didn't stop you though, did it?
Yeah, I just had to stop saying that because it just wasn't right.
I get to touch people and their hearts.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's so funny. Can you tell us a little bit about the song we just listened to? Like, what's it all about?
So that song was a song me and Zach both wrote, like, at the same time, pretty much. It was the very first song we were putting lyrics down into, and we were just like, okay, well, what do you write a pop punk song about? You write it about girls.
You do.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm not sure you're allowed to write it about anything.
I was just gonna say, if you're not writing
Yeah,
about
right.
girls, it's not pop punk.
Girls will
It's
Or
some
like
other
mental
third
illness, that's the
thing,
other
you
one.
know?
Yeah.
But, you know, we were both at the time, well, I'm still single, but he was single at the time, and we were both like, man, girls suck. So we're going to write a song about our breakups. And then it kind of like melded together to one song where we just like,
You fused the experiences
Yeah.
of both of you into one
Yeah.
mega experience.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like the lyrics kind of start off at the beginning, like, oh, I'm sad, please take me back, I want you back in my life, and then by the end, by the last verse, it's like, fuck you, you know?
Yeah. We've all felt that emotion. That's
Yeah.
for sure. On all sides of the gender equation, we felt that emotion, I think.
100%.
So it was recorded at Live Music Community, our previous place, by Corey.
Yes.
Now, how's it working with Corey?
Oh, it's fun working with Corey.
Yeah.
His background in music engineering helps us out a lot into like, well, one, how to record it, but also he helps us like figure out things we could add as well.
Yeah.
Like there's another song that we
Nice.
have coming out on our EP coming out soon called Dreaming. And towards like the last little bit, there's some ahs in the last chorus. He told us that we should add that in, and we were like, yeah, we should. So we ended up
wicked.
doing that last second. But Corey, we love working with Corey.
Yeah. He's very, very very talented man.
Yeah, he helps make our songs pop really, because Dreaming was like an okay song.
It was
originally.
a good song, but it was like it wasn't as good as
And
it
then
could
it
have been.
just he was like, okay, here's what you're gonna do for the chorus. You're gonna put harmonies underneath. You're gonna do this whole counter melody in the last chorus, and it was like, wow, you just made this song go from like a 50 to like a 90.
He also has this kind of quiet confidence where you believe that he's right.
Yes. Oh yeah, he does.
Yes.
Which is very helpful in a producer, you know. You're just like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'll do
Well,
that.
that's exactly right. You just said producer, and that's exactly right. He's not just you're the audio engineer in there like recording and stuff. Yaz is a lot like that with Euphoria and everything. We go in there and we start recording, and then he says, "All right, well, why don't you try this? Or why don't you try that?" And we're like, "Well, god damn it, that's amazing."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We're very here at 561 Music. We're very lucky to have Corey and Yaz, and both super talented guys. And Yaz is actually recording us right now. So shout out to Yaz.
Hi,
Shout out, Yaz.
For trying to figure out this room in a moment's notice. He's a legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not actually recording though. He's
He's not even here. But
he's gonna come. He's gonna come out and be like, "All right, so you guys ready?" just the practice run.
Yeah, I got just to kind of divert a little bit. The fact that we moved into this new building is so exciting. We've got like a way bigger studio now, and like all of us have got better rooms, and like the room that I teach out of is as good as the little studio room I have at home that I use as a studio, and then that's just one room in this place, So it's like, it's so awesome. It's like our powers combined under Justin. I think we're going to make something happen here.
I honestly, the 561 as a whole, Justin moving his school over to here, the studio and everything, making it a gazillion times better and bigger and everything than the last location, switching the branding over to 561 so that he's kind of joining us in our mission and everything. And then the podcast has been doing really well. Now the festival is going to be downtown Meyer Amphitheater. Like everything 561 is just blowing up right now.
Well, it's coming up roses at the moment. Cross fingers, nothing bad happens.
Be quiet. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. I actually had a meeting today with a few people about the festival, and I was thinking conservatively 1,500 people over the course of the day.
It's gonna be more than that.
The people I was talking to today, they were like, "You're delusional, man. There's gonna be 3,000 people there
at least, man."
So we may break the.
I've been saying this to you, man. You don't listen to me.
The amphitheater is only supposed to hold 3,000 people with nothing around, and we have booths and all sorts of stuff. So like, we technically can have more than 3,000 people, but sounds like
we'll have exactly the right amount of people we're allowed.
Yeah, we'll have exactly 299 people.
Yeah, exactly.
2,999.
Yeah.
The people I was talking to today were like, "You're delusional if you think it's gonna be 1,500 people." And I was like,
I 100% agree with that.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a wall, Hector. I've told you that.
I know, man. I know.
There's going to be a lot of people there. But actually, things have been developing a little bit lately. So, it's not.
Some things have been moving and shaking a little bit more than before. So I think that's where I'm starting to see the light now that like, oh crap, this is happening.
Yeah, totally. And I can't be more happy that you guys get to play it with us. Like, it's going to be great.
Yes, we are very excited.
Yeah, I was like, you guys got like 150 plus submissions. Why us?
Like, what?
I mean, cool.
There's only one Reverse Oreo.
Yeah, I know, but there's also 150 other better bands.
Well, I think the reason is because you're really good. And
The main reason is because Killbillies couldn't play, so we needed something.
right.
And everyone's gonna love it. It's just the energy's
you guys,
great.
yeah.
Young lads, getting out there and taking it, and it's gonna be good.
Sure.
I'll be honest, you guys, your submission came through, and so I had seen you twice. I had seen you once at the Christmas thing, the toy drive,
Yes,
and then once Bomb the Algorithm over in
Yes.
Anchors Way. The first time you played all covers, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was our
Second time-
second gig ever.
The second time you
no-
played, I think, 2 originals, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we had
3.
2 of them at that
No,
time.
I think we played 3.
I think
Maybe,
it was
yeah.
3 too.
Yeah, we had 3.
maybe,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was mostly covers. And so when your submission came through, that was the first thing out of my mouth. I go, these guys can't play; they're a cover band.
Cover band, yeah.
And
I know.
then Ben and everybody was like, "Nah, bro, they have a bunch of originals." And then we started looking deeper into it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, they do have originals."
Yeah.
all right then.
Stepping it up.
So yeah. So full transparency, I almost cost you the gig because I was like, "No, these guys are a cover band."
Yeah. No,
I'm glad they set me straight though.
yeah, and it's an interesting. That's not like when I was young, because of these places you can go now, and you learn like loads and loads of covers. I feel like a lot of bands start as cover bands and then gradually transmogrify into original bands. That's never how it was when I was young, because the first thing we tried to play was something we wrote. Because we weren't having loads of people there trying to teach us and stuff. You know?
Right. Well, and that's just it. When we started the podcast 4 years ago, and I think I've told you this before, there's this whole world. I was in Killbillies for a year at the time, a little bit under a year. And so during that year, I met a lot of people through you. And then eventually with the podcast, I started meeting a lot of people, a lot of musicians of original people, original music people from the scene. But up until then, I was a cover guy.
Right.
So I was in and out of bands my whole life. And I mean, played on a lot of bands that played to a lot of big crowds, but it was always covers and tributes. And so, I tried to do original stuff when I was younger, but it just didn't fly. It didn't stick. And so, when I first started on the podcast with you, when we first started the podcast, like there are 2 completely different circles of musicians here in well, probably everywhere, but like definitely here in South Florida, there's 2 completely different circles of musicians. Killbillies being a band that plays
like the Venn diagram.
Yeah, that plays, that plays covers and originals. We're kind of the exception of the rule, but
There's a few.
There's a few, but there's definitely this core of musicians that are all friends of mine that I know that have no idea who you guys are or who any of these people are in the original scene.
Yeah.
Equally, there's all these people in the original scene that have no idea who these guys are. over here.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to me that it's 2 completely different worlds.
Well, I think the reason why that cover kind of scene, if you want, or just friend group exists, is because there's just all these working bands who need to keep going, and people get sick.
Sure.
So there's like a whole pool of people who can dep in. You know. What I mean?
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely. And like I get, just from all the years I've done it, I get pulled in every now and then where somebody calls me up and says, "Hey, I need a bass player on Friday. Are you free?" And
For sure.
And then I'm usually like, "Well, how much are you paying me?"
Yeah. That's the big part.
Yes, I'm free.
Well, the thing I always like to do is like even I've been saying this for a while is like I want to start with covers, get a kind of a following, get people that like to go to your shows, whatever, and then slowly introduce your original
The
music.
sneak attack. I like
Exactly.
it.
So they come for the covers, but they
Right.
stay for the originals. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And then
like
before they
that.
know it, you're not playing. You're playing like one cover over a 2-hour period, and they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And well, your stuff is really strong too. That
is.
song we just listened to is really, really strong. It's legit. It's like proper
Punk,
good,
man.
polished punk rock, man.
Yeah,
So you guys are going to
Yeah.
be just fine. Just got to keep the momentum up.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do. We're like, how do we make a song that we can like pass off as not our song? you know?
How or like
And then
some-
eventually it'll be our song.
I love the approach. So we have to write a song that sounds nothing like us, and that's going to be a hit.
That's going to be our song, you know?
Well,
It's
we
like-
do have 2 more songs that we did finish writing that we will be debuting at the festival.
Hell yeah,
Excellent.
man.
It's pronounced a debut.
Debut.
The butts.
Yeah.
The butts.
I don't know why I said that. It's
my favorite.
It wasn't even funny.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have at least 4 photographers that'll be there that day. They won't be there all at the same times, which is why we have 4 photographers. They'll be there at various times, but we should have coverage at all times for at least a few snapshots of every band on both stages. Cool. And we definitely have at least 1 videographer. We may have 2. So we'll definitely get some footage of some stuff. Can't promise it'll be every song you play or it'll be all the ones you want, but you'll get we'll be able to.
And then we can chop it up and put it into this music video that me and Hector are going to make.
Oh yeah, right.
That'd be awesome.
You're like, really? Like, you know, we'll see. We'll see. I'm up for it if you are. I think it would be fun.
It would be fun. I mean,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
doing it at a show. That's what Gunnar Gill did
Yeah.
I respect
at the Respectable show we just played.
Yes.
That was a fun show, but
Yeah.
you know, he was like, "All right, everyone, get around on the pit, and we're gonna record this for a music video. You got one shot, make it count." And I was like, "Wow, this is cool." And I was like,
Yeah, he's in the middle of a circle. He has the headset mic, the boy band mic, I like to call it.
"Boy, man, Mike,
Yeah, and he was just dancing there. The videographer was just going around, and eventually a pit just opens up around him.
Yeah.
and he starts moshing with us. It's awesome.
That's so cool. I
That's
can't wait to
sick,
see
dude.
it. Gunner's a good lad.
He is a good
oh,
kid.
Yes.
love him. One of my favorite.
A
vocal
ball of
artists.
energy. He's great.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've known
love-
him for a long time too.
I love that he throws birthday parties with bands and stuff at his house and calls it Gunner Fest.
Dude, yeah, I know.
Yes, I remember
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
A good lad. Yeah, he was at School of Rock when I was there too. for a
Oh,
bit.
really?
Yeah. He didn't. I don't think he was there all the way to the. He was there for a bit, but you know,
I
and
think he
then,
went to. Did he come to the live music community?
maybe for a bit.
I think Gavin knows him from somewhere. It might be school. Maybe Gavin knows him from school. I don't know.
Yeah, he might have come to live music community. Actually, you might be right.
Yeah, I don't know. Gavin might know him from school or something, or just through the bands. I guess they don't know him through bands and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's the one who first told me about Gunner having Gunner Fest, and I go, "What the fuck is a Gunner Fest?" I go, "Do I even want to know this?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's like a birthday party." But it's like his birthday party. I'm like,
That's
"Oh."
like the best kind of show you can play is in someone's backyard.
Yeah,
we did it
yeah.
no, we did
Stock.
it twice.
He should call it the Gunner Show.
So two birthdays ago, was it 2 birthdays ago, my wife is terrible about surprising me with stuff, and she wanted to surprise me with a surprise birthday party, and she invited like every musician I know. Like she had like 100 people coming to the house. Wow. Everybody was going to bring an instrument. It was going to be a big jam and all that stuff. She was calling it Hector Fest and everything. And
Oh, yeah.
And then about 3 days before, I was like, I don't feel so good. And then I got tested positive for COVID, and she's like, "Son of a bitch!" And she had to cancel everything.
Chris, your neighbor, like made t-shirts.
I have phone calls to make.
Dude, it was terrible. Yeah, so one of my neighbors made like Hector Fest T-shirts, and they could never wear them. Damn.
Wow.
She had like a $500 deposit at the Brass Ring for burgers or whatever.
whole thing
that
was
they just kept, and she never got
Save
that.
it for next year.
Brutal.
It was brutal. It was pretty brutal.
That's crazy.
So no more surprises for me because she never was able to surprise me, and then I screwed up the one time she actually was able to keep it secret. So.
Oh well, life goes on. I'm sorry about that. I was looking forward to that party.
No, man, I was excited. There's Gunner Fest. I thought we were gonna have Hector Fest, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen, man. So Gunner, it's all you, baby.
It's all right. Look forward to Doug Stock next year.
Doug Stock, hell yeah.
Doug Stock was a blast. That was
That was
one of
awesome.
my favorite
We're looking
shows we
forward to
played.
Doug Stock too. In the works right now.
In the works, yeah.
What a guy. Love that guy.
Love
so,
Doug.
what have you got coming up? Anything in the pipes that we should know about other than this festival?
Well, other than the festival, we have the EP coming out soon. As I said earlier, 5 original songs, an intro track, and a cover, so 7 tracks in total.
Nice.
Yeah. We plan on playing that entire EP in full just for the festival.
It's a great idea.
Plus some new songs as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some little treats.
but, I mean, I got to stop giving you advice because I'm sure you must be getting bored of it. But
No,
you
we're
should
here for it
literally
all.
play it in order. Because
Yeah,
then if someone
no, that's
films
the plan.
it, then you can just and it looks good. You can just then you got this awesome
Yeah.
video, the whole EP. You know.
That's the plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, guys.
Oh, it's going to be a blast, yeah.
Yeah, sick. All right. Well, is there anything we need to say?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the festival for a quick second. May 3rd, Minor Amphitheater. If you haven't heard about that, then you live under the rock because it's everywhere now. 561 Music Fest. There's gonna be 20 bands, 2 stages, food trucks, art vendors. We're sold out with the food trucks. We're sold out. We're almost sold out with the art vendors. We have only a couple of spots left. We have sponsor tents. It's gonna be sick, dude.
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy. We do have
The live art. Yeah.
we're gonna have a live Discover the Palm Beaches hiring an artist that's gonna come in and they're building like a makeshift portable wall or something. They're going to weight it down for wind or whatever. And she's going to paint a live painting throughout the day. Just keep going back to it and paint a live painting throughout the day. That's cool. Just like a whole art installation thing. And then there is also a VIP area. The VIP area tickets the festival is free. Let me just put that out there now. The festival is absolutely free. There's no fence. There's no nothing. You just walk up and enjoy the music.
No excuses.
Absolutely no excuses.
No cover, no excuses.
No cover, no excuses.
No gods, no managers, no cover, no excuses.
The only thing is there is a VIP area and that's very limited tickets for that. If you were listening earlier, we were talking about how we're expecting potentially 3,000 people. There's like 150 VIP tickets left. I mean, in total, period. And that's it. And even then, I can't even say that it's 150 because I have to give some to some media and things like that. So it's probably more like 100, 120
local notaries.
Yeah, it's like 100, 120 tickets available for VIP.
I'm going to be in there recording the podcast.
Yeah. So the VIP is going to include your admission to the VIP area. There's going to be some tents in there. You're going to be able to get some shade and stuff, which you won't necessarily be able to get anywhere else. There'll be free waters, free sodas, free snacks. Between the hours of 6 and 8, you'll get heavy hors d'oeuvres, and then free beer. Yeah. And I just talked to our beer sponsor today, Coastal Karma, and so they are officially our beer sponsor, and they are on board. We're trying to work.
So that's the people you were talking about the festival with, then.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of back and forth with them right now between us and them, trying to figure out the logistics of exactly what that looks like. Yeah. So we may have kegs in the VIP area, but we may just have cans, and that way we can have a variety of things as opposed to just one beer. Yeah. But that's also included.
Are they going to bring the eggnog?
And they're not bringing the eggnog. God damn. And then Ben, you will be in there recording the podcast. So you're going to pull in bands one at a time, and people can meet the bands, talk to the bands, and you guys can sit down and do a little 5-10 minute interview.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Get to hang out with the great and good of Palm Beach County in the VIP area with my pinky out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be good. So anyone wants to get VIP tickets, 561musicfestival.com for more information. Click on the VIP tickets link at the top. It'll take you right to the ticket link. VIP tickets are $100. It's a little pricey, but you do get everything that I just mentioned before. However, starting by the time you hear my voice on this podcast recording and this is released, VIP tickets will be $100. But if you use we partnered with Mosaic, which is Cultural Council of Palm Beach County. It's their initiative for May. And so if you use the code Mosaic25 at checkout, you will get $25 off, and you can get the VIP for $75.
Hey, that's a lot off.
Listen, man, 20 bands. Unlimited beer, unlimited drinks, unlimited food,
unlimited access to yours truly,
unlimited access to Ben, shaded area, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for $75, and you get 20 bands. I mean, you can't beat that.
Exactly. It's perfect.
I dropped more than that at a Green Day concert.
For
sure. Oh, definitely.
I sure have.
Wow.
I could buy a small house for what I've spent over the years, like Green Day concerts.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, the one time I've been, it was about $700.
Yep.
$8. I had to pay for a plane ticket.
We did the Hella Mega tour, and it was so expensive.
Yeah, I did Hella Mega like closer to the top, but I did the last tour, the Saviors tour, where they did all of Dookie and all of American Idiot. We flew up to Atlanta just to see it, and we were
such a good
right
show.
on the rail.
Sick.
Got there at 10 in the morning, $400 pit ticket.
Yeah. So what is it with bands not coming down to South Florida? That just aggravates.
It's out of the way.
I know.
It's out of the way.
I've heard that it's out of the way because it's like one way in, one way out kind of thing. But it's like,
which I get it, but it's like. It's so obnoxious. And if they do come to Florida, they stop at Orlando.
Well, that's that's why we're doing this, is to like get us the music scene that's so vibrant that A, we don't need them, and B, they want to come because it's like a cool music destination.
100%. They're going to want to play 561 Music Festival next year, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida's the metal capital of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly.
Death are from here.
Oh yeah.
Death,
anyway, we can't get into that right now. That's the whole thing.
That's the next podcast.
But listen, fellas, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, yeah.
Wicked. See you later.
Peace out.
Talking about the scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about.